This team was actually so far the best team that I've played in this meta. Absolutely. It is so strong. I kid you not, Tyranitar is ridiculous. I will talk about why and how. The face-up of the Seeking, which you face up here, actually from, this is against Jock's fellow caster as well. I have no idea what I want to do for the Samurott here, so sorry about this. Like, my reaction time was really slow, which it did need to be because I actually have a really good answer in the Ariados. I just didn't expect the Samurott. Shout out to your spice. But yeah, basically the face-up of Seeking is fantastic, like absolutely fantastic, which we see here, by the way, as their lead. But we have here as a closer as well the Ariados, which I had already in the last video towards this cup as a lead, and I like it as a closer more. And again, like the coverage that this Pokemon has with Cross Poison is weirdly enough the main reason why I think this Pokemon is actually good. I don't know if I should got to move off here, but let's talk about Tyranitar. Let's talk about the, I don't even know what's supposed to be, the dinosaur in the room? Oh, goodbye. Goodbye, Spiritomb, catch on the Seeking, and this is how the game is going to end, winning the Casters battle. And trust me, there's actually going to be another Casters battle as well later on, but it's NA caster against EU caster in me. So, yeah, stay tuned for this one, but this one we're going to be able to win. Well, let's see if we're going to be able to win the next one there as well. But let's take a look at the next opponent. Okay, against Froslass, I am absolutely not scared at all, because Tyranitar wins this. Tyranitar wins actually against most of the current Pokemon, and it is absolutely a Pokemon that you need to give a try if you have a Shadow Tyranitar for the Great League. Because, I mean, look at this. They're gonna stop out here now into the Ferret. They have the Sucker Punch that is resisted. And here I actually make a little bit of a mistake, not really on purpose. I want to stop out of here. I want to stop out and catch the move on the Seeking. I was late. I was too late. I don't know actually what I thought, but I thought I would have been fine at stopping out at that point, but I wasn't. And so I am unfortunately in a position where I have to go for the full farm down, and we will see what they have in the back, which is going to be the Sableye. And we can get to 2 Brutal Swings. What this means here at this point is that I can keep a Brutal Swing for the Froslass. And why this is important is that the Froslass is going to be only being beaten from this team here now by either if they are stop out in here, which they will not because it's still not a great matchup for themselves, or by the Brutal Swing that we just stored on the Tyranitar. The Tyranitar keeping the Brutal Swing is actually absolutely vital for us to have a chance of winning, because the Pokemon that we have in the back, the Ariados, is not going to have a great time. The Ariados is not going to have a great time actually against either of those Pokemon, but against Sableye we might still be able to take a super effective hit, but here I am going to be able to knock out the opponent's Froslass thanks to the move that are stored up, and this gave the opponent already enough opportunities to press the button on the top left and forfeit the battle and move on to the next Froslass. Okay, same play here. There's a slight difference, by the way, between Froslass and Froslass. What I mean with that is there is this Froslass, which has, I think this one was the one with Triple Excel, maybe it was the one before. This one was Triple Excel, and there's one with the Avalanche 3 Faced. I know that. This is Triple Excel one, exactly. So they do a little bit more fast move damage now, but they sub out at the same time, and they sub out into the Spidops. The issue here is for me in the beginning, I stayed in for a little bit too long because I was like, do I go for the Stone Edge or not? But I realized, okay, I shouldn't really do that. But then again, I actually maybe went into the wrong Pokemon now because I could have also went into my Seeking, which has super effective coverage here. So I'm not too sure about it. At the end of the day, Froslass is going to be very good against my Ariados, but not so much against my Seeking. So I'd rather get rid of the Pokemon that is a bit easier for us here, like the Frost is coming in, but it's going to be fine. I might, if I can keep the area, okay, I cannot keep the Ariados alive. I would have liked to keep the Ariados alive because it would have allowed me to have a Pokemon to clear the debuff from the opponent potentially for later on. But in comes here the Seeking from the opponent, which is awkward because they have that energy advantage, which is now going to be all gone again because we are running Drill Run and they are running Mega Horn. Spoiler alert. Mega Horn is is a moveset that actually they recommend. It's the hardest hitting move on the Seeking. It's not even Legacy move, which is also kind of cool. If you want to build your Seeking, you only need 1 Elite Term for Icy Wind. But as you see here, we're actually in a very solid position because we still have energy on my Tyranitar. Tyranitar is going to be able to resist the peck from the opponent's Seeking. And with this, we put ourselves into a position where we definitely should be able to get to another Brutal Swing, which allows us to knock them out. And this is going to be yet another good game. And yeah, like this team is just so fantastic to play. And let's go a little bit more in depth towards that. Okay, here we have, for example, a very neutral lead. What do we do against the Dunsparce? Or do Dunsparce in this case. Dunsparce is rocking most of the times here currently the moveset of Dragon Tail, Body Slam, as well as a Rock Slide, but we gonna try to catch the move. Why? Because our lead is just not really bulky. We are able to catch actually a drill run here. They maybe are not even running the body slam. Could be also they just go for straight up coverage, but body slam is just the better move to go for, so I don't really understand. But you kind of want to keep your lead alive with energy if possible, because the amount of matchups where Tyranitar can come and clutch in is insane. And it's something that a lot of people, I would say, underestimate on how powerful this Pokemon can be late game. They see like the opportunity in the beginning and be like, okay, I need to kind of play out those neutral matchups. You don't. You really don't. Like if you have a neutral matchup in a team like this and Tyranitar, you kind of a lot of times can utilize Pokemon still at a later stage in the battle. And then it is worth it to keep it around. And this would be, for example, I will make videos as well in the future, in the near future as well. This week is going to be a little bit busy. Next week is going to be a bit easier for myself to make those videos as well. I will make a video towards like tricks that you should kind of think about as well while battling, that I feel like kind of separates you between a top level player and like ace veteran rank or even lower there as well, because there are like those certain things where you need to have a game plan. Like this is, for example, a game plan is to keep Tyranitar around for quite a while, unless you have of course a very good lead matchup. In this case here though, we are going to be able to I can use a shield here if I want to, but I don't know that I can survive the hit anyway. They have Rock Slide and the Drill Run. I think I'm going to be able to go for the Cross Poison again. Very good move on this Pokemon, and with it we should be able to win this battle, as we can now go for the full farm down and say goodbye to the Dunsparce. But yeah, they're just those certain things basically where you kind of need to understand what you want to achieve basically in certain ways. For example, here, I can tell you already, I'm not going to sacrifice my Tyranitar. I can play out the entire matchup if I want to, but I'm not going to sacrifice my Tyranitar. Like, they can go for Earthquake, which I do now, which gives me a huge opportunity, and they go into now their Spite Ups, where I'm going to try to get the shield back from the opponent, which is fine for me, like absolutely fine. We get the shield back, and I go into my Seeking this time around because I have the fast move that is going to do some super effective damage. I will utilize shield here now, but I still have Tyranitar in the back basically with quite a bit of energy. I don't know if I'm going to win this battle. I don't know. There's going to be a few losses in here as well today, of course. I didn't win every battle, but I won around 85%, I would say, of my battles with this team. This is how strong the team actually was. Like, I won around 85% of my battles, I would say, with this team. It was a fantastic team to run. And we're running Tyranitar, like, out of all the Pokemon. Here, I'll try to catch the move because I know that the opponent is debuffed. It's going to be a Body Slam. And oh, look, we're going to still survive, which allows me now to go for a charge move. If I didn't keep my Pokemon with the energy around, I would have not been able to do that, even though there were like matchups where you can stay in for a little bit longer. Issue for this team though is this Pokemon. I can tell you that already. Drapion was actually my nemesis. Like, Drapion surprisingly was absolutely fantastic in the meta. I didn't really expect it at all. I sure went for the Icy Wind now in hindsight, of course, but I didn't really think that they would shield there. I don't know, maybe they should have. Maybe I should have expected, to be fair. They also wanted the Spite Ups and it's going to be game over. There's not a lot that I can do about it. Drapion is tough. Drapion is tough for this team because Drapion is very, like it's just so neutral. It does some nice stab damage against basically our entire backline, and then you have Awkward Tail, which you get super fast to against our Tyranitar, and that's just kind of difficult for us to deal with sometimes. I feel like I could have played this battle even a tiny bit better, but I don't think it really mattered. I don't like you. Why are you here? Those are the questions that I always can ask the Drapion, because honestly, like, it is following me. It is following me everywhere. Body Slam coming through from the opponent. I use Shield early. Why do I do this? Because I can debuff the opponent. I know that I want to align myself, and I know that I will be able to leave here with a little bit of an energy advantage, which then allows me to hit basically everything else in the current meta. There's nearly no answer to Ariados because there is no real Steel type. I think Steel types are most likely banned or something. I haven't seen a Steel type really, I think. I'm fairly certain they're going to be banned then in this meta, which means that, must be, because like movesets like Bug Bite and Rock Tomb also would be, otherwise completely destroyed by them. So, basically you're going to have no answer to the coverage that you have here on the Ariados. Lunges coming through, attack drops from the opponent, which just kind of weakens them up a little bit for the late game. I can let the move go. It's going to be the Crunch that's knocking us out. And I can go to the Tyranitar, and they reveal that they have the Lopunny in the back. This game is going to be a tough one. Why is it going to be a tough one? Because Lopunny is going to do some double super effective damage with a fast moves against our lead. But here's one thing that you did not really expect here, I assume. They don't have coverage for Seeking. Why? Because they don't actually have a good secondary charge move. What they are running here, very likely, which is the moveset that makes actually quite a little bit of sense for this meta, is the coverage move of Fire Punch, which allows you to hit those bug-type Pokemon for super effective damage, as well as the, the Triple Axle, which allows you to hit, I don't actually know what you're hitting with that. Like, you just have it there, which is boosting your own attack up, I guess. That's the main benefit. I guess it's going to be the best neutral hit there because it's going to boost yourself up, so you can use this Pokemon in order to try to knock out your other normal type Pokemon. But here, I can try to go for the full farm run. I'm not able to, and I lose. Good game to the opponent. Lopunny destroyed me. Or did it? It didn't. We won. And here we are for the next caster battle. We are up against Caleb Peng, and we start off with basically the worst possible Pokemon I can imagine. Welcome in Shadow Vigoroth. This Pokemon is destroying my lead, but I have here the Seeking, and I try to overfarm by a little bit because I know if they want to swap out and clear the debuff of the Icy Wind, I will be able to at least go ahead and get there faster than the opponent. In comes the Dunsparce. Dunsparce is having a recommended moveset that at least I would be able to take with our Tyranitar. I think it looked like a little bit of a lag there as well. This is not ideal. But they go for a Rock Slide, which kind of tells me already they should not run Drill Run then. Because why would you go for a Rock Slide if you have Drill Run? Drill Run is just harder hitting damage, unless they want to bait me to think that they don't have it. But no matter what, I am going to be able to get them into the position where we can now get the final shield from them, which is fantastic, and I try my best to go for the full farm down with our Ariados. Ariados is going to be weak to that Rock Slide, and so I'm rather going to use a shield here, and we're going to see the Rock Slide coming through as well, and they swap out into their own Ariados. That is bad. But there's one saving grace here. We have access to lunge faster than the opponent has access to lunge. And this is the one thing that I have here as my advantage going forward. I do more damage than the opponent basically all the time. The issue is here still that I am in a shield disadvantage. And I was thinking at this point, there's no point of me going for another lunge. And I'd rather catch the move. Their energy drying out as well. They should be at least. And I can now utilize this as an opportunity to get some energy. They sub out into the Vigoroth. I can go straight for my lunge. And I actually didn't know that they have another charge move still already, and they win CMP type. And that is going to change everything, because now I am in the back foot there. I'm not doing enough damage, and I am going to be forced to go for the lunge here. They're going to shield this move up. Makes sense. I can go for another lunge. I need to hope they somehow still survive another hit from the opponent here, but I'm not too sure what their moveset even is. Are they running Mega Horn? Mega Horn would one-shot me here. Let's see what's going to be. It is going to be the lunge. I'm doing no damage, but I still get to the cross poison. I don't want a 1 HP in a dream. We are going to be able to win this battle, even though we got hard-walled. What a game this was, though. That is absolutely going to be a short soon. No doubt about that, but let's move on here against a very bad lead matchup. But they swap out into the Dragalge, which means I should be able to align myself. And alignment is all I'm aiming for. Why? Because what we will see here is that I am going to be able to just use a shield. If it's going to be an Awkward Tail, so be it. Sadly, an Awkward Tail. I'm just going to go for the full farm now. I don't really care too much about it. I know that they have to shield here again. But I rather keep all my energy and debuff whatever is coming in afterwards than keeping the shield. Because look at the energy that I have here now. Like, I have so much coverage with this Pokemon anyway. We know that about the Spider-Ups, which we can deal with. And yeah, Spider-Ups it is. And this is going to be kind of cool for myself. Still, actually, in hindsight, I would have said that it's better to go for the charge move early there and keep my shield. This is something that I would say now afterwards. But at the time, I don't feel like I did make a bad mistake there by trying to do what I did here. I wish I would have still, of course, got to another move, but it's what it is. The opponent has zero chance anymore with Spider-Up, so I swap out into the Dunsparce. But this is going to be game over. What can I do here? Like, realistically, what can I do here? Weirdly enough, though, this is a CMP type. This should have not been a CMP type. The opponent should have given me a free fast move here, basically, before they could go for a move. So I don't know what happened there, but this was not what's supposed to be happening. And at this point, I'm now in a very difficult position. I can go for the lunge, and I can swap out into my Tyranitar again. They're, of course, going to have access to Drill Run. They're going to two-shot me. I know they should be able to still reach another charge move, though, in time. But I expect them to swap out. Okay, they're most not going to swap out of here. They're double debuffed, though. Like, they're not going to do that much fast move damage. They're going to go ahead and knock me out here now. And now it's all down to the Ariados. This is not looking too good for ourselves. Drill Run is coming in. Let's see what Ariados can do. We are going to be able to knock out, actually, the opponent here, because we have a cross poison, which honestly is such a game changer. And we also got to get the boost here, which sadly does not matter by just a tiny bit. Like, Spider-Ups was nearly dead there. Okay, Dudunspar's lead. Again, Dragon Tail, a lot of times Body Slam, Rock Slide. Rock Slide is just kind of necessary in this meta. I feel like you can't give up Rock Slide. There's so many Bug-type Pokemon. And here we see as well, Rock Slide coming in. They're going to go into the pins here. They do a lot of fast damage here, but here's one thing that my team has. My team has the best answer to Pinsir, which is going to be the Ariados. I can go for the Cross Poison here, but Bug-type damage is singular resisted, and Fighting-type damage, which they have otherwise with either Super Power or Close Combat, is going to be double resisted, which means we have a great matchup here. Extra is still going to chunk away because the opponent has a ton of attack on Pinsir. But what we can do is we can go for a charge move against the Dudunspar's. This is going to be fine. This is going to allow us to get some nice damage in against them. And we're going to try our best here as well to just go ahead and go for the no shield. And now Tyranitar or even the Seeking is going to be able to sweep the opponent forfeit. So we can move on to the final battle for today. Of course, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to this channel. I'm still, like, we have the next season coming up soon. There's going to be so much content towards the next season as well. I have a lot of planned in terms of new series that are coming up very soon as well for the new season when Elo and all this kind of stuff matters again. Stay tuned for that. Like, really stay tuned for this. I can't wait for the new season. And thanks so much for still watching, even though it's the interlude season, even though you can all hit rank 20 without any real help there. Of course, this is here, for example, to maximize your rewards. You, of course, kind of rather want to win than lose. But I really appreciate everyone who's still watching my videos, even though currently this is the kind of the worst season that you can have. But yeah, hopefully the next year is going to be better. Hopefully more excitement is going to be for the next season as well. I can't wait for all of that. But let's take a look here what the Tyranitar can do for the final battle. We shield up the Earthquake and we have a ton of energy. In comes Ariados. In comes our bait. And here again we can just showcase on how broken Tyranitar is for this meta. Like one-shotting Pokemon left, right and center. Bye-bye Ariados, goodbye there, one shot there, in comes Cast Form, and I do need to do kind of 2 shots because Tyranitar just destroyed the entire opponent's team here. This Pokemon is broken. Please try this team out for yourself, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.